Hello dear students, welcome back to EduHunt video lecture series. We'll finish today about the bryophyta general characteristics. Let's move on to the topic. And this is the general life cycle of a bryophyte. I have shown you a colorful picture. It is a black and white one. Only difference is the color. Here you can see two phases of the life cycle, sporophytic phase and the gametophytic phase. Gametophytic phase is the long lasting phase and it is the dominant phase of the life cycle. We have seen that the fertilization happens with the help of the chemicals secreted by the female reproductive structures, that is archegonia, and they help in attracting the sperms, attracting the male gametes. Because of this, the fertilization happens. This is known as chemotaxis. And some mosses provide food for the herbaceous. This is one of the economic importance of bryophyta. They provide food for the herbaceous plants and birds and even for animals also. And species of sphagnum. Sphagnum, it is provided as a peat that have long been used as fuel. Sphagnum, bogmus also called as, and it is used as a fuel, and because of their capacity to hold water, it is used as a packaging material for shipment, that is for transport purpose of living materials. Because living materials require moisture, to hold the moisture, these sphagnum thalli are used, or the sphagnum plant bodies are used for wrapping or for packing purpose. And mosses along with lichens are the first organisms to consider and colonize the rocks. This is called the ecological succession. ఎకలాజికల్ సక్సెషన్. ఇప్పుడు ఎకలాజికల్ సక్సెషన్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక పెద్ద రాయి బండ ఉంది, ఆ బండ మీద జస్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ ప్లెయిన్ రాక్. ఈ రాక్ మీద కొన్ని 100 సంవత్సరాల తర్వాత చూస్తే, అంటే మనం ఉండము చూడము, బట్ ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే దాని మీద కొన్ని రకాల మాసెస్ వచ్చేస్తాయి, ఇంకా చిన్న చిన్న గ్రాస్. సో ఇదంతా కూడా దీన్ని ఇకలాజికల్ సక్సెషన్ అంటాం. ఈ ఇకలాజికల్ సక్సెషన్ జరగాలంటే first pioneers undali. So the pioneers along with lichens, mosses are the pioneers of the xerophytic ecological succession, and they decompose the rocks and make a soil, and also helpful in enhancing the growth of other higher plants. In other words, they initiate the conversion of rock into soil, that is formation of soil, called pedogenesis. They help in formation of soil by weathering the rock, by decaying the rock, by degrading the rock. They form the soil and help in growth of higher plants. Since these are from dense mat, they form the dense mats on the surface of the soil. They reduce the impact of falling rain and prevent soil erosion. So they compactly arranged, they form like mats on the surface of the soil, and in this way they protect the soil from erosion. బెడ్ లాగా పరుచుకుని ఉందనుకోండి, ఈజీగా రెయిన్ వల్ల కానీ గాలి వల్ల కానీ సాయిల్ అనేది కొట్టుకుపోవడం జరగదు. సో ఇన్ దాట్ వే దే ప్రివెంట్ ద సాయిల్ ఎరోషన్. ఇట్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద యూజెస్ ఆఫ్ bryophytes. So this is the economic importance of bryophyta. And let's see the classification. Bryophytes are divided into major classes, that is liverworts, mosses, and even hornworts are also there. Liverworts, hornworts and mosses. The bryophytes are categorized into liverworts, hornworts and mosses. Liverworts, example Marchantia, and usually grow in moist, shady environments, habitats such as banks of streams and also marshy ground, damp soil and bark of trees. Where there is shady, moist environment, the Marchantia, the liverworts colonize there. The plant body is haploid because it belongs to the gametophytic generation, and it is small and dorsiventrally flattened. It is flat, green and dorsiventrally flattened, and thallus, that is no leaf stem like structures appear. It is dichotomously branched. That is why the branching looks like a liver, human liver. It resembles a human liver. That is why it is called liverwort. The thallus is fixed to the ground with the help of rhizoids. Unicellular and unbranched rhizoids, they fix the thallus on the ground. And on dorsal side, gemma cups are found. They appear on the dorsal side, and these gemma cups, they help in vegetative propagation, and from the ventral side they give out the rhizoids, which are unicellular and unbranched, and even some scale like structures also appear on the ventral side. They prevent the moisture escape, that is they protect the plant from drying or from desiccation. And absorption of water is done by the some amount of water is being absorbed by these rhizoids, which are similar to roots of the higher plants. And internally, thallus is differentiated into upper photosynthetic thallus and lower storage region. Thallus, it is a somewhat a flat plate-like structure, that is dorsiventrally flattened, and in this thallus only, the upper portion which is exhibited and which is exposed to the sunlight is called the it is green in color and called the photosynthetic region, and the lower region, it is a storage region because it stores the food material, and chlorophyllous cells are present in the thallus without any pyrenoid. This is the Marchantia, female thallus and male thallus. And asexual reproduction occurs by fragmentation, that is a vegetative propagation only, or by detachment of the gemma cups present on the parent body. And germination of these gemma cups will give rise to the new individual. And this is the female thallus and it is male thallus. Female thallus, you can see there is a long stalk which bears the female sex organs called archegonia, and this stalk is known as archegoniophore. Archegoniophore is nothing but a stalk which bears the archegonia, the female sex organs. These are the gemma cups, vegetative reproductive bodies, and this is a male thallus, male liverwort, male Marchantia plant, and both the plants, both the thalli look similar, but only at the time of sexual reproduction we can differentiate both the thalli, male from female, because the female thalli they give rise to the archegoniophore, the female reproductive structures, and they are somewhat ray-like. And anthridiophore, it bears the anthridia at its tip, and these are somewhat like plate-like structures, rather ray-like structures. Rather than ray, they are plate-like. This is another example. It is Funaria. It is somewhat advanced than Marchantia. It is sphagnum. Just now we have discussed its importance. Because of its structure and because of its water holding capacity, it is used as a peat moss, and it is used as a packing material. It is Funaria gametophyte. You can see the lower portion of the gametophyte which bears the leaf-like structures, and a small main axis called the stem-like structures. And at the bottom of the stem, that is main axis, rhizoids appear. Rhizoids which fix the gametophyte in the soil. This is the leaf-like gametophore. Actually, it is a gametophore. Gametophore. This gametophore has rhizoids, main axis, and the leaf-like structures. The leaves are small, tiny, and are simple in nature. Only midrib is present. No side veins are present. These are very simple, called simple leaves and micro leaves because smaller in nature, smaller in size. After sexual reproduction, here it is the female gametophyte. It is the female one. In the female one, archegonia, the female sex organs are produced. In the female sex organ, the fertilization takes place. After fertilization, zygote produces, it divides and gives rise to a sporophyte diploid structure. It is the foot which is embedded in the gametophyte. It is a long stalk-like structure called the long stalk-like structure. It is called, it is the seta. Yes, it is seta. And the upper portion, the apical region of the seta bears the capsule. Capsule. The capsule is the spore producing structure, that is the fertile structure of the sporophyte. It is sphagnum. In this case, the archegonial branches are seen and antheridial branches are also seen. Even in Funaria also, in Marchantia we have seen two different thalli, male and female are different. But in case of Funaria, male and female thalli are not different, but male and female sex organs are produced on the same thallus, same gametophyte, but they are present, they are produced on the different branches. This is called audacious. This condition is called audacious. Audacious. Audacious is nothing but, it is somewhat like monoecious, where both male and female sex organs are present on the produced on the same thallus, same plant. If the same plant bears male and female sex organs, it is called monoecious. But they are present on different branches. Audacious. Is it clear? Monoecious is nothing but male and female sex organs are produced on the same thallus, but on different branches. Audacious. During sexual reproduction, male and female sex organs are produced either on the same or on different thalli, as I mentioned. And after meiosis, the spores are produced, which are haploid in nature, and they are liberated out after dehiscence of the capsule. Capsule pagilipotene spores anevi baytiki liberate ayyi suitable soil మీద పడినప్పుడు germinate అవుతాయి. ఇది ఫ్యునేరియా. ఇందాక చూసారు మీరు స్ట్రక్చర్. ఇది ఫ్యునేరియా. ఇవి మొనీషియస్ ఆర్ డైషియస్. మొనీషియస్ అంటే మేల్ అండ్ ఫీమేల్ సెక్స్ ఆర్గన్స్ ఒకే ప్లాంట్ మీద ఉంటే మొనీషియస్, డిఫరెంట్ ప్లాంట్స్ మీద ఉంటే డయేషియస్ అని అన్నాం. కామన్ ఇండియన్ స్పీషీస్ ఆఫ్ ఫినేరియా ఆర్ ఫినేరియా hygrometrica. It is monoecious. That is, both male and female sex organs are present on the, they are produced on the same plant, same gametophyte. These are seen in shady moist areas and sometimes even found in tree trunks. Gametophyte, we have already discussed about the gametophyte and its reproduction. Yes, we have discussed the general characters of bryophytes in detail and also their ecological or the economic importance and the typical life cycle of a bryophyte. In the next session, we will be going to discuss about Funaria, which is an important example of bryophyte in detail. Its life cycle, its structure and reproduction in detail we'll discuss in the next session. You must learn the bryophyte characters and which structure is haploid, which is diploid, which is gametophyte, which is sporophyte, and vegetative structures, vegetative propagation, sexual reproduction. All these things need to be remembered, and they ask questions based on the life cycle. So if you understand the life cycle clearగా చదివితే కనుక మీకు ఈజీగా అర్థమవుతుంది. అండ్ రిపిటేషన్, నేను ఎప్పుడు చెప్తూ ఉంటాను, రిపిటేషన్ ఉండడం వల్ల కాన్సెప్ట్ ఇంకా క్లియర్గా బ్రెయిన్లోకి వెళ్తుంది, ఎక్కువ స్కోర్ చేయడానికి స్కోప్ ఉంటుంది. ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్.